Man, am I glad that it's Saturday today. There'd be no chance in hell that I'd be able to concentrate if today were a school day. A revelation keeps replaying over and over in my mind. Depression. A nasty sounding word. And in some ways, quite foreign. I guess I was kind of sheltered. Prior to Sayori, I never knew any people with the condition. It was something I was of course aware of, but I'd never paid any real to it. I mean, I knew what it was. Psychology has always been at least vaguely interesting to me, but I never really saw a real reason to look into it. And Sayori said that she's been depressed for most of her life. So I can't help but wonder, when did it all develop? What caused it? Was she bullied? Or did a close friend or family member die? There's so many things I want to ask her right now. But as Mom said, it's best to give Sayori some to cool off. I'll give it a couple of days. Besides, I've got a lot of homework to be getting on with. Well, that Sakura is out of the way first. Man, I know the war really had a huge effect on the world. It's time for a break, I reckon. What to play, what to play. It really is a first world problem to have so many games available but still don't know what to play. Yeah, I have that problem. A colorful looking title catches my eye. Man, I mean the escapism, there we go, from video games is doing the trick. Perhaps I should go for a walk instead. Being cooped up indoors probably isn't doing any favors for my health. Mom used to harp on about the importance of fresh air. I stand up and stretch, wearily rubbing my neck. Yeah, some fresh air wouldn't go amiss. At this point in the day, the park is rather quiet. As many people come to this part of the park anyway. Which is a shame, because this part is arguably the prettiest, thanks to the lake. Being the middle of November, there's a definite chill in the air. Although I'm wrapped up warm, so I can barely feel it. There's a comfortable lull in the air, especially after the overwhelming nature of last night. The silence is a perfect antidote, being therapeutic and calm. Sure, I have the house to myself, but there's no substitute for fresh, cool air. Maybe my parents were right when they kept up that healthy body, healthy mind mantra. As calm as the atmosphere is, it's not doing much for the whirlwind that is my mind. Looking back, how could I have been so stupid? How did I miss all the signs? Am I really that dense? No! Stop it. You're not in the Natsuki route. You actually are pretty good. Thinking about it, the fairy tale poem makes so much sense now. The selfishness, the devotion to keeping others happy, regardless of her own mental state. The signs are all there. Struggling to wake up on time, which explains why she was always late. And the nightmare. And when she finally told me her most painful secret, how did I respond? By shouting at her and making her cry. Great friend you are, Zero. No wonder she didn't even want to tell me in the first place. Was so pushy, so demanding. Yet when she told me, instead of being empathetic and understanding, I did the exact opposite. It wouldn't even surprise me if she didn't want to be friends anymore. Would she ever forgive me? Although whether she should or not is a whole other question. Even if she did forgive me, what could I even do about her depression? Her self-perception seems so cemented. Would I be making things worse by getting involved? Or would I be able to help her? I don't know. Being a normal teenage guy doesn't really afford me much sensibility. Even though it might sound a bit melodramatic, I can't help but feel like I barely even know Sayori anymore. How much of her happiness is just a mask? It can't be all of it. Who said 0? I don't know who this is. Let's see. Oh, it's Yuri. How did Yuri find me?
0?
Being so lost in my thoughts, I didn't even notice Yuri's presence. Oh, hey, Yuri. Didn't see you there.
I'm not bothering you, am I? You look rather deep in thought.
Oh, you're fine. It would be nice to have some company, actually. She smiles shyly and takes a seat next to me. The accompanying silence is not awkward in the slightest, which surprises me. Then again, Yuri is no stranger to deep thoughts herself, and she's definitely used to being reflective and quiet.
I didn't expect to see you here.
Didn't expect me to come to a quiet park when it's getting dark, especially in the middle of winter, huh?
Not really, no. The dark and the cold combined tend to put most people off. If you don't mind me asking, what brings you here?
Well, there's a lot on my mind, and I figured some fresh air would do some good, you know?
Ah, I see. Perhaps we're more alike than I first imagined. Whenever I'm troubled by something, I always find quiet period of reflection in the evening can be really helpful. Something about the stillness of the night. It's much easier to think when you're in an environment such as this one.
Yeah, it is. Especially when you're feeling overwhelmed. It helps just to take a step back and breathe. I've actually known this park for as long as I can remember. My parents used to take Sayori and I here all the time. Countless memories throughout the years.
That sounds wonderful, Zero. To be able to share such happy times with someone as you both grew up. Although I'm curious, given how much time you two seem to spend with one another, I would have thought Sayori would be with you now.
I looked down momentarily, poking at a twig with my shoe. Well, we kinda had a fight.
Oh. That comes as quite a surprise, given how close you two seem to be. Then again, I suppose it's inevitable that a fight occurs between people, no matter their dynamics.
Yuri starts fiddling with her hair.
Not that I mean to pry, but may I ask you why you had a fight in the first place?
I grimace as I reply. As much as I enjoy talking to Yuri and appreciate her company here, there's no way I can reveal Sayori's secret to her. It's not that I don't want to tell you, and it's nothing personal. I
understand completely, Zero. I suppose it was a rather personal question.
She just told me something really private, and that horrible, familiar feeling of shame bubbles up whenever I recount how I reacted to her confession. I didn't take it very well, and I said some really stupid stuff. I got angry at her, and I shouted at her. I'm an awful friend. I lean forward, burying my face in my hands. There's an awkward, heavy silence for a few moments.
Zero, I know that I haven't known you for as long as Sayori has. But please believe me when I say you're not an awful friend. I don't know what was said between you two, but everyone says things they don't mean during arguments, especially when tensions are running high. That's something my parents once told me, and it really is true. If you take my argument with Natsuki back in September, in the heat of the moment, I said some rather hurtful things. However, I didn't actually mean them, and I'm fairly confident that Natsuki feels the same way too. Please don't be too hard on yourself. I can tell that Sayori means a lot to you, and you're ever so patient and kind with her. If I may be bold to say, perhaps you didn't realize it, but you do a lot for her. Little things such as walking to school with her in the mornings and walking her home in the afternoons. But most importantly, whenever she's feeling sad, you really take it upon yourself to find out what's wrong so you can comfort her. We can all see that your care and consideration for her shines like a beacon.
Yeah, that's all well and good and all, but I still hurt her really badly.
Friends always hurt each other, Zero. It's just an unfortunate reality of being human. From what I can gather, She isn't someone who could hold a grudge. So whatever issue there is between you guys, I'm confident you'll be able to sort it out. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound presumptuous or anything.
You've not been presumptuous in the slightest, Yuri. Your insight has been really refreshing. I still feel bad, but you've made me realize that perhaps things aren't as bleak as they seem. So thank you. Seriously, it means a lot. You're a really good friend.
Well, thank you, Zero. I'm glad I was able to help.
I can't help but grin. Yuri's shyness has always been endearing, especially as it clashes against her intelligent, mature outlook oh so much. Anyway, I could ask you the same question. What brings you here? And your accidental English accent that I keep accidentally putting on. Like, seriously, man, I don't know what's going on. I keep, like, at one point, I was gonna laugh, but I was like, wait, I can't. So it's like, my God, why do I keep accidentally putting on an English accent? Sounding like fucking Zelda from Breath of the Wild.
I don't hear that. What?
Some of the words I've said with her, I put on an accent with, and I'm like, wait. Yuri spoke French, remember? French and English aren't the same.
I mean, yeah, they're not, but they are similar.
Well...
It's okay. You don't have to disclose anything. I won't pry. I don't hear the accent. Okay, good. Then
Yeah, I don't either. What the fuck
I'll
are you talking about?
the way I've said so, I think some people just don't hear it, but I know someone's gonna be like, I heard it. I'm gonna be like, fuck, because I hear it coming out of my mouth. But just know that if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here. And so are the other girls, okay? I remember how horrible those people during the festival recital were to you, and I'd hate to think that you were suffering in silence or anything like that.
Zero, you truly are too kind. I very much appreciate your words, and I'm very glad that Sayori told you about our club.
I know I said it back in September, but honestly, I'll say it again. I'm just grateful that you guys accepted me with open arms. You didn't judge me because I wasn't a poet, nor did you ever laugh at how bad my poems were. I know they weren't particularly to your taste, but you still gave me good advice and feedback.
Well, I believe that everyone should be included. No one deserves to be an outcast, irrespective of their hobbies, interests, or their writing abilities. I just wish others would be as accepting and inclusive of those with interests that go against the norm.
She's nervously picking at her sleeves, almost pulling them up over her hands. Well, for what it's worth, I think your interest in horror and taste in literature and poetry is pretty cool, Yuri. It makes for a nice change of discussion, and gives you interesting stuff to talk about. Like when you discussed Frankenstein's monster at me at lunchtime. I never really gave it much thought, but after you had that talk with me, it helped me realize that we shouldn't just take stuff at face value. No, and your poems are awesome. I hope that one day I'll be able to write on your write to your level.
That really means a lot. I'm glad you have such an open mind, Zero. In this day and age, to find a mind so free of prejudice and misconception. It's truly a breath of fresh air. Thank you. Anyway, I don't mean to cut short our discussion, but unfortunately, I have a lot of homework to be getting on with.
Yeah, me too. Procrastination can only get you so far, eh? Catch you later, Yuri. Hope everything gets better.
And you, Zero.
With a wave, we both depart. Well, there you go. Yuri has character development, Pog. Wait, where does she have character development? She was just being nice. Did she have development? Did she? Oh, later character development. Oh, you were like saying like, oh, she might have character development. Because I was like, I was like, I don't think that was character development, guys. Yuri was the same the entire time. Homework or cutting? Bro, who's to say cutting isn't homework? She's doing it at home, isn't she? I mean, see, I was right. These can't be the same writers as Natsuki's route. They aren't. There's multiple writers. How many times do we have to keep saying this? Pretty sure Swampert said he had no writing in Natsuki's route, and he said he actually did have some. He actually did contribute to Sayori's route and Yuri's route a bit. But I think he said he contributed. He said he contributed to Yuri's or Sayori's the most. I don't remember which one he said. It was either Sayori's or Yuri's the most. But yeah, we've been saying multiple times that there's multiple writers. I feel like I've said this.
Yeah.
Like, you can definitely tell. That's why MC doesn't really always, like, sound the same. He's not always, like, the same, like... That's why MC sometimes is using big words, and sometimes he's using, like, it's all good. And I'm just like, huh? Swampert did Sayori. Okay, he told me he helped Yuri a little bit, so maybe that means... maybe it was he did a majority of Sayori's. He did a majority of Sayori's, but he said he helped you, so and then I guess he helped a Yuri's a little bit. I think he said he had like nothing to do with Natsuki's route. And he uses cringe. Bro, don't whoever wrote Young MC made him too smart. Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty good so far. It's good mod so far. It's good route. So far, it's incredible, the difference in quality. Yeah, weirdly enough, it's like playing Natsuki's route than playing the Sayori route made us appreciate Sayori route more. I feel like if we played Sayori route first, we'd just be like, oh, this is a good mod. But it's like after playing Natsuki's route, we're like, whoa! It's like, just for how different they are, we're just like, whoa! It's like I'm playing a different mod. I wouldn't say Natsuki's route was a train wreck. Now we're just taking it too far. It's like the same people who are like, Blue Sky. The same people who are like, Exit music sucks. It's like, it doesn't suck. It's just not as good as people say. It's like, I feel like people have don't start being those people, or you guys don't know the difference between, there's an actual middle ground. I would say so far this is looking like a pretty much, looking like an A tier.
Yeah.
So far. MC was a train wreck. He wasn't that bad. I wouldn't call him a train wreck. I'd say he's problematic in Natsuki's route. I wouldn't say he's a train wreck by any means. Yeah, so far, it's pretty. This is looking like a good A tier so far. Things are getting pretty good. There's good stuff.
Yep.
No S tier? Because, like, it hasn't really done anything like, whoa. It's just... Yeah, like I mentioned before, it's just following the story beats, which again, isn't bad. It's just, again, I'm not going to be blown away by just following the story beats of a Sayori route. I was like, it's doing the Sayori route correctly. So I was like, I think it's good. I think it's just a fine A. It's just a fine A tier. Also, plus, you have to realize we're also rating Blue Skies as a package. Now this is gonna make everyone go, yeah, it can't be S tier. Like, as soon as I'm like, you gotta remember, Blue Skies is being rated as a package. All of them are being rated together in the mod. So... Natsuki route disqualifies S tier. I was like, yeah, it's like, you gotta remember, they're all being rated together. So, no matter how much you like Sayori's route, Natsuki's route will still be there. But even then, yeah, I was like, yeah, it's pretty good so far. I'm liking it. But, yeah, that's it for this. Curious to see where we're going. We're probably not anywhere close to even being like halfway done, because this is Blue Skies. We're gonna be here for 7 years. It never ends. I think if I had to say a gripe about Sayori's route is that, which is just, I think just my problem with Blue Skies in general. Blue Skies sometimes feels like it's dragging a bit. Like at times, sometimes I feel like Blue Skies is dragging its feet too much. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's times where I feel like I'm making like literally no progress. like I feel like that was a problem I think I even had in Natsuki's route. Like, that's just a problem with Blue Skies in general. It's a very draggy mod. Blue Skies is basically purist in ways. In a way, yeah, it's like it has the same problem Purist has, but it doesn't have the vanilla dialogue. Like, both mods really like to drag. Like, I think it's my only really, like, big negative I have with Blue Skies, that there's a lot of dragging. But Wait till you play Yuri's route? I already said I'm not sure I'm playing Yuri's route. Again, I don't want to have to keep... Blue Skies is long, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I've never seen a mod that goes over 6 to 7 hours and drag in places. But the thing is, it makes us drag in places I feel like we shouldn't be dragging. Like MC in school. Like, there's some information I feel like this is taking way too long in this specific area. Like, scenes where I feel like if we took this out, would there be much of an impact? And it's like, no. So why is it taking so long? Like, it's just like, come on now. It's like, that's really my only problem. I feel like at times it feels like you're not making any progress. Almost every mod that's being this long has some of those in it. Maybe that might be one of the reasons why a lot of people have gone to splitting things into chapters, honestly.
Could also be why it's long like that.
But I was about to say, also, that could be one of the reasons why people ended up splitting things up, because it's like when you do get a long continuous mod, yeah, it will start to feel draggy. While it's like if you had something like end of this, then you're like, I made progress, you know? You feel like you actually did something. You feel like you conquered something. I was like, that might be why nowadays there's way more mods doing like chapter based or episode based. Because it's like when you just do this like super long path, you just feel like, oh my god, where am I? Like, where are we? Are we even close? You can't ride a long mile without a bit of dragging. That's kind of how it works. Maybe, but again, like I said, it's like I still feel like that's a problem to some degree because it demotivates you. It demotivates you to want to continue. That's what I'm saying. It's like I can't really sit here and say this like, oh, but you should excuse that because every mod has that. It's like, okay, but it's still demotivating.
It can't be too low for too long because then you start getting bored.
Yeah, it can't be too low for too long. That's the thing. You gotta have to do something.
It can be low. It can be low for a bit, and then it starts to get back up again.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to have constant fucking go. I'm not saying that. Obviously, everything's gonna have downtime, but you can't be in downtime for too long. It's like you gotta have a good balance. You can't be sitting here too long just doing nothing, because then you're gonna start making your people go to sleep.
Yeah, start getting bored, and then some people might get bored enough to where they stop playing.
You gotta do
they don't finish the story.
You gotta do a good balance. You gotta be like, all right, downtime, back into the thing, downtime.
Yeah. Downtime shouldn't last too long. Should last long enough just to get.
But also, when we say every mod has it, I don't know. But I mean, I've played a good amount of mods, and Blue Skies is the one that just really stands out to me with its like, with its really long dragging. And I've played a good amount of mods. The only one I think I can really say that makes me feel like this is Fruits. I think that was all the other mod that I feel like I've played that really had this dragging problem. So it's like, I'm not even sure how many other mods really do it. Granted, I'm also not really someone to go out and potentially really want to play a lot of long mods, so... So there's that. Pacing, the challenge of all writing. Yeah, pacing is always a problem. It's always a hard thing to get down. I feel like mods shouldn't be longer than 10 hours. If you're gonna be longer, is it New Eyes 11 hours? If you're gonna be longer than, like, I still feel like if you're gonna be like a long mod or something, it should be broken up into some sort of like part or something, you know, to like give people like the feeling that they're making progress, or to know like where they are. Like, you want to have an idea of where you are in the story, I feel. You don't just want to sit here and be like, how long do I have? How long have I been here? Like, if you want to have something long, I feel like breaking it up is probably the best option you can really do. Because, yeah, I said the long path, like I said before, is just, it's like, you feel demotivated. It's like, would you rather walk down a path of just nothingness for a long time, or a path with some landmarks every so often? It's like you see like a landmark or something, the landmarks makes you feel like, oh shit, I'm moving. But if you just walk down an empty path for so long, you're just like, Am I even moving? But yeah, that is it for this episode stream thing, depending on how you're watching this. But so far, yeah, the end of the day, still enjoying it. Pretty good so far. If you want to download this for yourself, link will be in the description below. And yeah, this has been Zero. Peace.